Ooh-wee. All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. Now, before we get into the mess, which is married to medicine, when I tell y'all, I have been trying to get this review out for the last few hours. So, quick story. What happened was I basically fried me something to eat. I'm not going to tell you what I fried, but I fried me a couple pieces of something. And it got a little smoky. Okay. And I don't like to open up my patio door because sometimes, like, bugs and stuff fly in, and then you, like, stuff flying around. So I did not want to open my patio door, even though I should have. And it just kind of got a little smoky in here. And then my eyes have been running for, like, since I've been cooking. Well, not really while I was cooking, but my eyes have been running honestly for like the last 2 or 3 hours. It's been a minute, and my nose got right. I had a lot going on in this department. And so I couldn't make the video because while I was trying to talk, my eyes kept running. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is not, like, I can't do this. So I was like, I'm just done. And so I was going to just wait until I was just going to go to sleep and just wake up tomorrow and do it. But I was like, I want to have this out because I told somebody on Twitter that I was going to have it out in 2 hours, and it's been way past 2 hours. And so I was like, I want to have this out. So at least for the people on the graveyard shift, and when people get up in the morning, it'll already be up for those who want to watch it. So here we are. My nose a little stuffy. My eyes feel okay. So we're going to try to get through this review as quickly as possible. All right. So can I say something? I just ate a little bag. I just ate a little bag of M&Ms. Too, don't judge me. Um, this is just my opinion. Some of what I'm saying is just my opinion. And then some of what I'm saying is based off of, or what I think. Um, and then some of what I'm saying is based off of what I see. It's based off of facts. Okay. What I'm saying is nothing. I feel like I gotta say this all the time because I feel like we gonna end up tussling. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. Um, I feel like there are a group of people out there who have a disdain for quad, and no matter what, they will never. I feel like there are some people out there who are basing their opinion off of what they thought happened, what they wish would have happened, and not actually what happened. Um, Quad and King are having a conversation. This is the day after the melee, and it opened up with actually Simone, Dr. Simone, and Cecil, and they're kind of making fun of the night before. Cecil kind of made a joke and kind of like unbuttoned his shirt. It was cute. Um, and then it goes to Phaedra and Shek. I'm gonna say something later on because sometimes, I'm gonna say something later on, but then it went to Quad and King, and Quad is basically having a conversation with King, and she says it's probably a lot for him, basically talking about Dr. G, to basically see his ex-wife with the new man and to hear the type of the things that were being said the night before. And she says, but no one cared and gave me grace. Let's stop right there. And I don't want to make this review long, but y'all know I get a little long-winded sometimes. The fact of the matter is, Dr. G and Quad came onto this show together. Dr. G is not, from what I understand, is not an employee. He does not receive a check. So he came onto the show. He was the medicine that allowed Quad to be married to medicine. They got a divorce. From what I understand, Quad said she has not seen Dr. G at all after the divorce. Dr. G comes back to the show last season, which was season 10, with a new fiance who then became his wife. They got married on the show. And there are a group of people out there who believe that because Sweet Tea is married to Dr. G and Dr. G is a doctor, that automatically should guarantee Sweet Tea a spot on Married to Medicine. I don't recall people saying that. I don't recall people feeling bad for Quad in the position that she was in. I remember people being upset because of how Heavenly and Simone and Jackie and the other girls teamed up on her, right? But I don't recall people being so outraged that this man was now back on this show in this space. I don't remember people calling Dr. G an antagonist. Because why would you come back to a show where the women are getting paid? And let's just call a thing. Sweet Tea ain't getting paid that much money. Not with it being her first season. And from what the people say, they say allegedly Dr. Heavenly says she only getting paid $2,000 per episode. Now, this is coming from a man who's not getting paid, and he also says that he doesn't want to be around any negativity. Why are we acting as if Dr. G and Quad just had this loving marriage? Why are we acting like they didn't let us know at the reunion that they were pretty much over their Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Why are we acting as if they didn't let us know at the reunion that they were Ike and Tina in the back of that limousine? So for him to come back to this show knowing that the way that the marriage ended was not the best, I don't see how y'all cannot say that that's not him antagonizing Quad. No one had grace for Quad when he was prancing his new wife around. No one cared about Quad having to be back in this position. This is Quad's job, not Dr. G's. Let's be very clear. So now, here we are. Quad has a man. Quad got a man at home. Okay. Now, Quad got a man. Now, people feel like the way that Quad is answering the questions is team too much. They're playing a game. Everybody's answering the questions. How many times do you have sex with your partner? 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 4, 0, 0, 1, Quad, 15. Oh, she picking with Dr. G. His black ass should be there to begin with. The argument started because of Sweet Tea. Let's be very clear. That night, the argument started because of Sweet Tea. Maybe y'all had your phones down, but go back and watch. You'll see who addressed to first. You'll see who opened up the door first. Okay? It wasn't that big of a deal. Quad and Sweet Tea were just throwing shade. It wasn't that major until Dr. G opened up his mouth. No one cared about Quad being uncomfortable last year when she didn't have a man. No one cared. Please don't get it twisted. I called Quad a dummy and a fool last year when she walked up and gave Dr. G a hug. And I still think she's a dummy and a fool for doing it. That still has nothing to do with people not giving her grace or not caring that she didn't have a man and that this man was allowed to come back to the show. So now Quad got a man and now she got to tiptoe around Greg and his feelings. They ain't got to tiptoe around a motherfucking thing. They didn't tiptoe around me when they brought their asses back over here to my job that I've been on since season 1, prancing around, getting married. So why do I need to tiptoe around him and his feelings? No one gave a damn about mine. Right, okay. So Sweet Tea and Dr. G are having a conversation. When I tell you, I don't know how y'all be defending Dr. G. I hope Sweet Tea and Dr. G last. But the way that he gaslights that lady, from what I saw, Sweet Tea really wasn't doing that much. And I know some people don't necessarily believe Dr. Heavenly, but based off of Dr. Heavenly and her review, I haven't watched her review this week. Based off of her review from last week and based off what she said that based off what she saw, she was there, that Sweet Tea and Quality really wasn't that big of a deal. Even though Sweet Tea started it, okay, it wasn't this big, it wasn't this big situation. Toya kind of chimed in through gasoline on the fire, and then when Dr. G opened up his mouth, he's trying to frame it as though he was trying to protect Sweet Tea. Protect her from what? You 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 disrespected Quad more than what Sweet Tea did. If we're gonna be honest about it. He says he was upset when Quad was saying she left him and she was acting all superior towards him. Basically, how are you gonna be a hood rat acting better than me? You're a hood rat from Tennessee. Ain't that what Lisa Nicole called Quad? Maybe it's 2:30 in the morning, girl. I'm really not trying to do a whole bunch of hollering and screaming. I know people sleep. Okay. Um, he said he knows what she's like when she's drunk. I said, girl, they used the wrong clip because because the clip they showed Quad was she was just laughing and talking. He apologized to Sweet Tea though for basically him cutting up a little bit, but how he felt is how he felt. Um, he says that this is an age gap thing to expect her to be a wiser person. Sweet Tea is actually right in this scenario. While she did open up the door, Sweet Tea wasn't doing a lot. She just wasn't. Dr. G took it to a whole nother level. And that's because he was getting pissed by hearing Quad say that she has sex with her man 15 times a week. By hearing Quad say that she wants to have this man's child. It had nothing to do with Sweet Tea. Be very clear. Toya and Dr. Eugene, Steve and Dr. Mimi go out. Let me just say something, okay? I drink 1800 tequila. I love 1800 tequila. I drink Casamigos. I drink Don Julio. I was actually going to buy a bottle of Patron like some months ago, but I was like, I don't want no Patron. I like Kettle One. I like Tito's. Um, I like, you know, I like Crown Peach, Crown Vanilla. My sister really likes Crown Vanilla, but I like Crown Vanilla. I like the Crown Blackberry. I'm saying all that to say, I'm not this girl, bougie, rich black woman who only can drink, 1942 Castle Zool, $200 bottles of tequila. But I do think it is funny that Toya tries to put on this, rich black woman. And girl, she is stuck in the 2000s, girl. She's still drinking Patron. Girl, I know that sounds crazy. I'm just saying that what Toya tries to give on TV, but then you're still stuck on drinking Patron. Girl, the other girls, I think Dr. Eugene, they went out for drinks. They're trying to get to know Steve and Dr. Mimi. They went out for drinks. And I think even Dr. I think was that Dr. Maybe I'm getting this confused with another TV show. But I think Dr. Eugene ordered 1942. I think it was 1942. I think I know Steve ordered Don Julio. And then Toya was like, I want Patron. I was like, this is so ghetto. And you heard Steve say Patron. Right. One, who still drink Patron? Okay, girl, we do. But what I'm saying is, Toya wants to put on this girl. You still drinking Patron? But she says it like she says it with so much. Can I have Patron, please? Like, girl, you can at least bump it up to a little like a little Julio, girl, act a Julio. You know what I'm saying, girl? Just to look at some Migos, girl. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Toya though. We ain't got no issues with Toya. The doctors meet up, and the doctors. That's what I put because I didn't feel like writing everybody's name. Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, and Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly were already in the room. And then Dr. Simone stopped by. And she tells Dr. Jackie that Apollo is coming. Dr. Jackie didn't know. And they go over like the night before. Just a quick one, too. Nothing major. So they're all headed to the boat. Did y'all see that white man? Captain Richard? I said, bro, what's his name? Captain Richard? I think his name was Captain Richard. Let me see. I think the nigga name was Captain Richard. I sent a tweet out. I said, who's this white man, baby? I think the nigga name was Captain Richard. Yeah, I think it was Captain Richard, baby. I can't remember, child. Oh yeah, Captain Richard. Captain Richard. There's just he was the girl. Yeah, I was about to say he was a captain. Girl, Captain Richard. I'm trying to go to sleep. Girl, so listen, Captain Richard was kind of fine. I said, "Come on, white man." I said, "No, that's right." I said, "I Captain, baby." So, anyways, Apollo arrives. Now I know Heavenly is a messy ass bitch. Okay, I know Heavenly is messy as hell, but Heavenly did not know Shereen was coming. Okay, now in Heavenly's defense, I don't care what nobody says. Phaedra knew that Apollo was coming. It's not like Heavenly just went and got Apollo out the blue and didn't ask Phaedra. She literally asked Phaedra. And Phaedra just said, surprise me. Remember, that was her response. Surprise me. Um, so excuse me. So, um, I didn't know that Shereen, is her name Shereen? Did I call her Sherina? Or Shereen? I don't know the girl name is. I don't know. I think her name's Shereen. Apollo's wife. I didn't know. I knew that. I think I remember Shereen being in the picture when Apollo and Phaedra were still legally married. Because I think Apollo was in jail, right? Remember when she made the pop up down to the Real Housewives of Atlanta? I think I think Phaedra and Apollo were still legally married. I don't know if they were still together. Okay. One thing I get at Phaedra, baby, when Apollo went to jail, honey, baby, she cut court. Baby, she cut. Baby, she. I know that's right. I always give Phaedra that. But she said that Sharina was cheating with Apollo when she was pregnant, one of her pregnancies. I said, oh, now it kind of makes sense because we all, well, at least I did. I can't speak for everybody else. I wondered how in the hell does Apollo have a girlfriend that fast after? Because Apollo and Sharina got together when Apollo was in jail. I was like, how the hell? Now I know people get girlfriends and boyfriends all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, how the hell did that happen with Apollo? So now it makes sense they already knew each other because from what Phaedra said on the show, didn't Phaedra say that? Girl, I don't want to be over here making shit up. Um, but I think Phaedra said that Shereen was cheating with Apollo. I think in her second pregnancy. Mm. Baby, did y'all see how Shereen hugged Shaq? Um, can I just go ahead and be messy for a little bit? I don't like to talk about people's sexuality because yeah, I know. Because some of y'all be like, girl, you try to make everybody gay. So I just try to leave it alone sometimes because I don't want nobody down here talking about trying to make everybody gay. Okay, can we just have some kitchen table talk? And I mentioned this last week. Well, somebody mentioned it in the comments, and I was like, "Yeah, I think so too." Does Shaq give you like he's one of the kids? Shaq look like he one of the kids, and I saw that the other day. I said, "Baby, Shaq give me like he one of the girls." Girl, if it walk like a punk, if it cross his legs like a punk, nigga, it's a punk. Yeah. Shaq give me like he was. Shaq give me like he gay. Now ain't nothing wrong with it. Okay, nothing wrong with being gay. Okay, be very clear. But Shaq just gives me like he's one of the kids. He's one of the boys. He do, and I know he give y'all some of the same thing. Okay, so I don't even know how to feel about it. But did y'all see what Shereen hugged Shaq? How she hugged, baby? She, girl, no, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm not trying to be messy down here to this channel. It's too late in the morning for all this carrying on. But Shereen gave Shaq one of those old. I don't know, girl. You know, it's different types of hugs. Yeah, well, maybe because I'm a messy bitch, so I'll be looking at how the girls hug each other. I'll be looking at y'all when y'all hug each other, like how they hug each other. You know, it's a church hug, a sideways hug, it's a hug. But she gave him a hug where her hands went around his whole, like she made sure her hands went around his neck type of hug, like that type of hug. Not like oh, hey, good to see you. Y'all know it's different types of hugs. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So when Shereen gave him that hug, I said, girl, that's real, girl. That's a little comfortable. But I also said that Shaq is one of the kids, so it really don't matter. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If Shaq is straight and Sharina hugging that man like that, I'll have some questions. I would. Now if he's a punk, then it don't matter. But if that nigga is straight and Sharina hugging him like that, that better be your girl. The only way that she should be hugging him like that is if that's her good friend from college and she hasn't seen in years. That's the only way. But if that's a nigga who you see all the time, a family friend, and he come over for Thanksgiving and holidays, girl, why are you hugging a nigga who you see all the time like that? Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Remember when Megan Good hugged Michael Ealy? I didn't think that was a big of a deal because they probably don't see each other that often and they're probably Hollywood friends. This is our first time seeing each other, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But if it's something like we see each other all the time, they go, "Why are you so happy to see somebody you see all the time?" Yeah, maybe I'm a little insecure. Anyways, let's move on. Um, Everybody is surprised that Shaq knows Apollo because again, they don't know. Now we knew because we've watched the show. And I tried to tell the people that girl, and that's so crazy because when I saw Shaq in not Apollo, Phaedra having that date, I was about to fast forward through it because I was like, I don't want to hear shit Phaedra talking about. And I was like, girl, let me just watch. And I was like, hold up. When he tried to act like he didn't know who Phaedra was, but then he was like, oh, I know your ex husband and his wife. How the hell you don't know who Phaedra is, but you know that her ex husband is Apollo, and you also know his new wife, but you don't know what she does for work? Girl, come on. Remember I said this? I said, girl, come on now. So we just gonna play this game. Okay. Okay. And then he said that he fed Phaedra and put his finger in her mouth. Now I know sometimes you can meet a stranger and put some stuff in your mouth and you might not know. Hey, come on for putting shit in your mouth from a stranger. Listen, I know, girl, you done probably had a one night stand and put some shit in your mouth and you didn't know the nigga. But I do think it's a tad bit different. Girl, for Paige to be sitting on TV letting this nigga put his fingers in her mouth, I was like, girl, she has to know him. Like, she has to know him at least a little bit. Phaedra know that man. Okay? I'm not letting Phaedra or Shaq play in my face. Um, okay. Apollo feels some type of way about Shaq and Apollo. I hope I'm saying his name right. I think it's Shaq. I want to call him Sheik, but I think it's Sheck. Um, but and I'm not the one to offend to defend Phaedra, but Phaedra don't owe Apollo shit, and that's just what it is. Girl, I don't give a damn if we was divorced 10 years ago. Especially not a nigga who cheated on me and married his side chick. I don't owe him shit. Now, Shaq may owe Apollo something due to them. It sounds like they're actually friends. I guess in real life, I don't know. Either they're friendly or either they're friends. But either way, there's a connection there. They know each other. Phaedra don't owe Apollo shit. Phaedra can go and fuck every single one of Apollo's friends if she want to. Girl. Now your friends is who owe you the loyalty. I don't owe you nothing, not no more. Especially not a nigga who cheated on me while we was married. And you married the side chick, and she here today. I don't give a damn if it was 17 years ago. um, they're on the beach, and they're having a push-up contest. I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed by Dr. G. Dr. G did 25 push-ups just like that. I said, "Oh, so Dr. G actually works out." I would assume he does. Just for him to get down at almost 60 just to 25 push-ups. Because the other men I do know 25 push-ups. Now King and Steve probably could. But Dr. Damon, Dr. Eugene, Curtis, Cecil, they're not doing no 25 push-ups. Okay. But this is gonna sound so nasty. When he was on the push-ups, he was like, Letitia, Letitia, Letitia. And I just thought about him having sex. I was like, ooh. I'm sorry. Um, so Eugene basically, at this point, they're broken up because the men over here and the women are over here. This is they were on the boat at first, and now they're off the boat on the beach, sandbar. And Eugene basically gives King a shout out, just welcoming him to the group. And then Dr. G says that he doesn't mean quad. He also basically addresses King too after Eugene. He basically tells King that he doesn't mean any disrespect. He doesn't mean quad any disrespect. They just have history. And she was speaking over his new marriage. And then King says, y'all have a past and we can't change it. Now, this is where the editing kind of went weird to me. He then responded, Dr. G responded and said, well, what I said was, you talk too effing much. Something clearly had to have been said for him to respond with well, what I said was, because right after King said, well, blah, 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 y'all have y'all past and we can't change it. That's when Dr. G said what he said. And I was like, girl, what happened? Something skipped over for him just to say that like that. And then King said, you said that to her? And then he said, I did. And then he said, oh, I didn't hear that last night. And then he said, I think you need to apologize to her. And then he said, I think there's responsibility on both parties. Can I ask y'all a question? And I just want y'all to remove Quad and King for a second. If this man, your girl, what I know most of y'all are girls. Never mind. Can you? I wish go get your man. Bitch, go get your man so I can ask him a question. Because most of the people who watch my channel are girls. Go get your man, girl. Hurry up. Hold on. I gotta ask that nigga a question. Let me wait. Go get him, girl. Hurry up. We're gonna wait for a couple of seconds. Girl, because I gotta ask him a question. And I want an honest answer from y'all too. All right, are they back? Hey, how you doing? My name is Rodney. I'm a YouTuber down in these streets. Your girlfriend, wife, side chick. We're not judging. She watches me. We have a good time. Sometimes we fuss and argue. It's not that big of a deal. It's all love at the end of the day. So we're watching a show called Married to Medicine. Long story short, one of the cast members has been on the show since season 1. Okay. And the man was her husband. They had a violent marriage. I'm sure they had good times, but they had a violent marriage. They got a divorce. They haven't seen each other since. He comes back to the show with his then fiance, now wife, last season. Fast forward to this season, an argument broke out. He talks to the ex wife, tells her that he doesn't care what she has to say, even though his ex wife started the argument. And then he also curses at his ex wife. What would your response be to the ex-husband of your new girlfriend letting you know to your face that, yeah, I cursed her out, I did? What will your response be? All right, you can go. We back. You can go. Girl, get that nigga up out of our face. We trying to talk. Thank you though. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. All right. All right. So listen. Hey, okay. So Eugene tries to interject and try smooth over the conversation, because at this point you could tell the tension kind of got pretty thick because of what the conversation that was just had between Dr. G and King. And so he says, clearly Dr. Eugene is fucked up. When I was cracking up, he says, I think the key is, um, I think, where am I trying to go? I tell you, he was trying his hardest to kind of smooth stuff over, but I really think Dr. G had probably been drinking since what, like earlier that day, because didn't they go? Him and Quad and Toya had went to, not him and Quad and Toya, him, Toya, Mimi. What's that? Yeah, that was the same day. They went out for drinks. Toya, Dr. Eugene, Dr. Mimi, and Steve. So I'm pretty sure they had been drinking all day. And so when he was trying to help smooth things over, he couldn't really get his thoughts together. And then they looked over to Scott, Dr. Scott. Dr. Scott was playing in the sand with his feet. And then you had Dr. Damon scratching his head like this. Bitch, when I tell you I was cracking up, and so then Cecil tried to help Dr. Eugene, Dr. Eugene. And then Dr. G gets up and then he says, if I knew you, I would have addressed you. I hope you're willing to stand up for her. And then he sits down. Mind you, sorry, I ate a pack of M&Ms earlier. I told you it's still like some peanuts in my mouth. Sorry. So mind you, Dr. G was sitting down. Doctor Ken Ken King was over here. Who the hell is Ken? King was over here. He got up and walked over to King and said that. And then he sat back down. I think that's a cop out. I do. I do. Can I go ahead and say something? And I want to go live. I'm going to go live tonight. I'm getting ahead of myself. No, I'm going to say it right now. Dr. Gregory, this is the thing. For me, I don't have a problem having confrontation with a woman. And unless you know me, you wouldn't know this, but I'm not a violent person. I'm not just going to up and disrespect you. Now, if you curse me, I'm going to cuss your ass back. But girl, I've never been a violent person. I've never gotten into a physical fight. So the last thing a woman, anybody, honestly, would have to worry about me doing is just getting into like a fight. You know what I'm saying? But especially with a woman. So like, if you saw me get into an argument with a woman, girl, the only way she would probably get popped is if she popped me. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like my life was in danger. However, I do understand. And I remember the first person I heard say this was Heavenly, and I was like, that shit sounds stupid as hell. But I do understand to a certain degree why it is important for, in some scenarios, for men to address men and women to address women. I get it. I do. I do. However, I'm not of the belief that just because you are a woman and if you say something to a man, then he should not say anything back to you and he should wait to address your husband or girlfriend, husband or boyfriend. If you say something to him, then he should he should be able to say something back. Now I'm not saying he should just be uber disrespectful, but he shouldn't have to hold what he needs to say out of the fact that you're a woman. No, you're a grown ass woman. That's a grown ass man. You said what the fuck you wanted to say. He gonna say what the fuck he want to say, and then y'all gonna dead it and y'all gonna buy y'all business. You see what I'm saying? I know that's not the world, and I know that sometimes things can escalate to the next level and to the next level and to the next level. So I get it again in certain scenarios why sometimes it is important for just men to address men and women to address women because, girl, if things go left, you know what I'm saying? I know how some people get about their wives and girlfriends and husbands, and you know what I'm saying? So I get it. But the problem that I have with Dr. G, and I'm just gonna speak real plain. Dr. G wants to switch up how he operates based off of the people involved. If you are going to stand on addressing a man and not addressing the woman, or feeling as though, well, I'm not, I can't, if I would have known you, I would have done it. You don't have to know someone. You've been around this man a few times. You know his ex-wife. So even if you felt that something was being said out of line for you, you still could have had that conversation with King, or had one of the guys be the moderator for you two having a discussion. You see what I'm saying? Because when Heavenly was down to the World Wide Web calling your black ass a pedophile, you ran right to Dr. G from what the people said. And we ain't seen you say shit to Heavenly this whole goddamn season. And she disrespected you on the World Wide Web. Now, Dr. G and Dr. Damon might be friendly. Do I think they're friends in real life? No, I think they do business together. Okay? But it still doesn't take away from the fact that Dr. Heavenly called Damon what she called him on the World Wide Web. Now, I know what she meant. She was basically taking a jab out of the age difference between Sweet Tea and Dr. G. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that that's what she called him. And he still had enough, I guess, I'm not going to say sense, but he still had enough, I guess, awareness to say, let me just go straight to the man. You don't have to know Dr. G. Okay, now don't get it twisted. I got something to add when we get to the end of this review, when we get to what Ken told Dr. G, because he was completely wrong on that part. But you don't have to know the person. You don't. Especially in this scenario where you kind of know the people. You know Ken just a little. I keep calling him Ken. Who the hell is Ken? Girl, King. Girl, it's too late. Girl, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Especially when you know in Ken. I'm about to get pissed off. Because I keep saying Ken. Who the hell is Ken? I don't know a Ken. Okay. Do I review a show with somebody named Ken? Oh, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Girl, I'm like, who? Girl, Ken. Girl, I don't know. That's why I keep saying, okay, look, it's a guy on Love and Marriage Huntsville. That name is Ken. Oh, but when I say I was literally about to end this review and just like, girl, I'll just finish when I wake up in the morning. But yeah, I just feel like in this scenario, he knows King enough, and if he doesn't know King enough, he knows the other men in the group to where if he felt that Quad was saying something out of order, he could still respect what they have said or establish in the group that men don't talk to men, and like that's what they've established within this friend group. The men talk to the men, the women talk to the women. And so if that's what y'all are gonna go by, then you're gonna have to go by it across the board. You can't switch up when it involves certain people. Because if you can still show respect to Heavenly and Dr. Damon, then you can damn show some respect to everybody else in the group. Now again, please don't say nothing. I'm about to get on King in a little bit. I just think that that's a cop out on Dr. G. You don't have to know that man like that. You don't. So Faye, that's what Shereen called her. Girl, Shereen, y'all talk about Quad being a hood rat from Tennessee. Shereen give me she a little hood rat. She give me a little hoodish. Girl, can we be honest? Shereen give me a little hood. She give me a little hood. Okay. She called Phaedra Faye. Her basically Phaedra and Apollo started going back and forth. Nothing too major, but they started going back and forth because of Shaq being on the trip and him knowing Apollo. I'm just gonna be honest, y'all. Even though Phaedra doesn't owe Apollo shit, it would make sense for Shek and Apollo to have some type of words, because if we are really friends, if we have some type of like not even association, but girl, if we really hanging out and we spending holidays together, it is. I don't give a damn if Apollo and Phaedra been divorced for 27 years. It is weird that now you date my ex-wife and you ain't said nothing. I do think it's a tad bit weird. Now again, Phaedra or Apollo shit, but Shaq, I would have thought that he would have at least told him, hey, unless I don't know, but if you going over for holidays, that's what Shereen said. They spend holidays together. Their families do. And then she kind of, I felt like it was kind of weird when they kept calling Shaq Phaedra's man, and she was like, that's not his man. Girl, why are you so bothered that, girl, they calling that man her man? That's everybody's man in Atlanta. That's what she was saying. I felt like she just wanted to fight with Phaedra for some camera time, honestly. Phaedra called her a bad built bitch. She said, Apollo don't give a F about you. Girl, I can't tell. Because really and truly, everything Apollo was saying should have been addressed to Shaq. He shouldn't even been saying nothing to Phaedra. Phaedra don't owe him shit. Sweet Tea and Heavenly get into it. She wants to know who invited them. She wasn't asking in a disrespectful way, but she was like who invited y'all? And she said Heavenly. Even though Heavenly invited Apollo, they didn't know that Shereen was coming. They just thought Apollo was coming. They didn't know that Shek was coming. They thought Phaedra was coming by herself. So really and truly, what happened was Phaedra. Girl, I need to relax because I'm trying to hurry up. I hate when, like, I'm looking at the time and it's 43 minutes, and I'm like, girl, this review is too goddamn long, and I'm trying to hurry up, and now I'm like, I need to calm down. I was about to say Portia. Portia ain't got shit to do with this. So what's the hell the name? Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly did not know that Phaedra had a date. So when she asked Phaedra, is it okay if Apollo comes? Phaedra said yes. Phaedra brought a date. And it happened to be Shek. They didn't know that Shek was coming, and they didn't know who Shek was. Shek ends up being a family friend of Shereen and Apollo. They didn't know Shereen was coming. They just thought Apollo was coming. So now here we are, basically. They get into it. Girl, Heavenly tells Sweet Tea, don't say nothing to me. They start cursing each other out. Girl, when I tell you, when Heavenly tried to get her old ass out that water and then fell back down the baby, when Heavenly tried to get her ass up out that water and fell back down, girl, she was trying to get in Sweet Tea face. I said, now, Dr. Heavenly, when that was Contessa, girl, when that was Dr. Contessa, your ass was running yelling security. Don't think we forgot. But now it's Sweet Tea, girl. I guess you got to pick your battles. That's what they say. Pick your battles. So I guess she's picking her battles because again, when it was Dr. Contessa, when y'all were in girl, when y'all were in wherever y'all were at, girl, the OK Corral, and girl, Dr. Contessa was trying to get a hold of you, honey. You was yelling security. You was running, girl. Um, King. So all the shit breaks loose, girl. It's a big mess. Really and truly, I just feel. Can I just be honest, girl? I'm not worried about Dr. Heavenly or Sweet Tea because ain't neither one of them gonna do nothing. Girl, at this point, Dr. Heavenly just yelling just to yell. Sweet Tea yelling just to yell. Sweet Tea ain't gonna hit Heavenly, and Heavenly ain't gonna hit Sweet Tea. Okay. Um. So what's his name? Dr. G goes over, of course, to get his wife, Sweet Tea. They're walking off, and it's Phaedra and Shek. King walks up and wants to talk to Dr. G. Now, King, girl. Now, we got to be honest, girl. I said, girl, this is not the right time. Girl, if the emotions are high, Dr. G is trying to get his wife under control, and here you come talking about, can I talk to you? No, nigga, no. Girl, like I'm trying to get my wife under control and you want to have a conversation? No. 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 Girl, that's what Dr. G should have said. No. So they have the conversation, and he said, "Girl, he basically tried to check, not tried to, he checked Dr. G. He punked Dr. G. Girl, he punked Gregory. What's her name? Gregory Cessafroid Lunsford, whatever Quad said. Just a goddamn thing to me. Um, he said, "What happened last night? I'm gonna let that shit slide. All right." I said, "Oh, ooh." He said, "What happened last night? I'm gonna let that shit slide. All right." And then he said, "Okay, tell her to watch what she says to me." And then he said she could say whatever the fuck she want to say to you. I said, "No." And then he said, "How does that shit make sense? She could say whatever she could say to me, but I can't respond." I'm paraphrasing, but this is what they said. Now, girl, I hate to even have to defend Dr. G. Now, this is what we're gonna have to just, girl. I would Dr. G on this one. King, that's not how we roll. Well, that's how y'all roll. I wouldn't do good in spaces like this. Because if she say something to me, I'm damn sure saying something back. Okay? And that's just what it is. I'm not coming to talk to no Dr. Damon. I'm not coming to talk to no Cecil, no Curtis. If she say something to me, I'm saying something back. And that's gonna be the end of it. She gonna say what she got to say. I'm gonna say what I got to say. We can go have cocktails afterwards, but girl, I'm not gonna let her talk to me any type of way. I don't believe in the whole, I can't say nothing to you because you're a woman. No, you're a grown ass person, and I'm a grown ass person. But again, like I said, I know because I'm not a violent person. So that's just for me. Okay. Maybe King was just riled up, but King, no. You can't sit there and say that Qua can say anything she wants to say to Dr. G, and he better come and get you. However, here I go in King's defense. Heavenly called you a pedophile online, and you can't get no lower than that, nigga. And you's a whole fucking doctor. Now I get that there's some type of relationship there with Dr. Damon, but it doesn't take away from the fact that his wife called you what she called you. You see what I'm saying? And you still went and addressed Dr. Damon. And the couple of times we've seen Heavenly walk up on you, you ain't said shit to her. Now Heavenly did say she apologized to Dr. G. But what I'm saying is he ain't said shit to Heavenly. At least they ain't showed it. Just say I don't like that bitch, and whatever she say, even if I think it's directed to me, I'm gonna have something to say. Because at this point, Dr. G just don't like Quad. That's it. You just don't like Quad. He swears he doesn't want to be around the negativity, but you brought your black ass back to the show, knowing that you and this lady didn't have the best marriage and didn't have the best divorce. And you say you don't want to be around the negativity, then why come back to the show? Again, I want to keep saying a show that you don't even get paid. Because the men don't get paid on the show. They sign consent forms. The women get paid. The men don't. So you came back over here to do what? To work for free? To start some shit with your ex-wife, huh? Because you thought you heard that she ain't had no man. I bet you if Quad was on this show with a man last season, Dr. G wouldn't have came back. And then he says, again, but I got what Dr. G was saying. Like, how you gonna sit here and tell me that girl she can't say shit to me? I mean, she could say whatever she want to say to me, but I can't respond to her, and I gotta come get you. No, 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 no. That shit don't even make no sense. It don't. But you let the other girl say anything to you, and you go straight to the husband. Hmm. And then he said, "I know." He said, "I know your girl." And girl, we'll finish the rest of it next week because it kind of like it's like a to be continued. So I don't feel like going through the whole Quad running. Girl, when I said Quad was running, no, shit. No, 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 no. Baby, Sweet Tea took off running, girl. Titty about to pop out her thing and everything. It was a mess. But yeah, this was a cute little episode though. I'm here for it. King was right, but he was wrong at the same time. To me, Dr. G been wrong. He was a little right in that scenario, but for the most part, I don't see how y'all even trying to go get in my comments and be defending Dr. G like that. I mean, you can do what you want to do because that's how you see it, but I don't feel like it's based off of what we've seen on this TV show. I just don't. It can't, girl. It can't. Dr. G hadn't said anything to Quad or King. He said that last week in the episode. So for his first time to say something to Quad was in the midst of pretty much an argument, and then you're not saying anything positive. Yeah, Quad said what she said, but that was after your wife opened up her mouth. Let's start there. See, y'all be want to start at D and not start at A. Y'all want to start at G and not start at A. Y'all want to start at T and not start at A. Girl. Anyways, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right, y'all. It's late. Let me upload this video. It's 3:05. I'm gonna upload this video and then I'm about to take my melatonin so I can really be deep in sleep. And then I will see y'all when I wake up. All right. Bye, y'all.